Hello students, in the previous class we have studied activity 8.3. Now we will start activity 8.4. Hold a strip of paper 20 cm long and 3 cm wide between your thumb and forefinger as shown in figure 8.5. So when you blew over the paper strip, it went upwards. Again, this could happen if blowing over the paper reduced the air pressure above the strip. So, increased wind speed is indeed accompanied by a reduced air pressure. So, next property is air moves from the region where the air pressure is high to the region where the air pressure is low. So greater the difference in the pressure, the faster the air moves. So next property of air is air expand on heating. Air expands on heating. So activity 8.5, take a boiling tube, stretch a balloon tightly over the neck of the tube. You can use a tape to make it tight. Pour some hot water in a beaker. Insert the boiling tube with the balloon in the hot water. Observe for 2 to 3 minutes for any change in shape of the balloon. Take the tube out, let it cool down to the room temperature. Take some ice cold water in another beaker and place the tube with the balloon in cold water for 2 to 3 minutes. So now observe the change in the shape of the balloon. So we can say that air expands on heating and contracts on cooling. So you are seeing in the figure 8.6 the shape of the balloon in hot and cold water. So when the boiling tube is immersed in hot water, the balloon gets inflated. And when the boiling tube inserted in ice cold water, the shape of the balloon is deflated. Now next activity is activity 8.6. Take two paper bags or empty paper cups of the same size, hang the two bags in the inverted position on the two ends of a metal or wooden stick. Tie a piece of thread on the middle of the stick. Hold the stick by thread as shown in figure 8.7 as in a balance. Put a burning candle below one of the bag as shown in the figure. So observe what happens. As the warm air rises up, it pushes the bag above the candle. The warm air is lighter than the cold air. So, note it down, the warm air is lighter than the cold air. Warm air rises up. So also it is important to remember that on heating, the air expands and occupies more space. When the same thing occupies more space, it becomes lighter. The warm air is therefore lighter than cold air. That is the reason that the smoke goes up. So sometimes it is asked in the reasoning question that why smoke goes up. So this is the answer which I have told you in this regards. Like it is important to remember that on heating the air expands and occupies more space. So when the same thing occupies more space, it becomes lighter. The warm air rises as it is lighter than the cold air. So in nature there are several situations where warm air rises at a place. So the air pressure at that place is lowered. The the cold air from the surrounding areas rushes in to fill its place. So this sets up the convection in the current. So it is noted, it should be noted here that in nature you can say that warm air rises at a place due to the heating by the sun. So the air pressure at that place is lowered and the cold air from the surrounding areas rushes in to fill its place. So this sets up convection in air. So this fact of air is utilized in launching hot air balloons also. In nature, there are different situations where warm air rises at a place. So next we have wind current. So what is wind current? The wind is the movement of air which depends on the difference in air pressure in two regions. Air moves from the region of high pressure to the region of the low pressure in the atmosphere. This difference in air pressure is created by uneven heating or unequal heating on the earth. The region where the air rises, an area of low pressure is created, while the region where the air sinks, an area of high pressure is created. So you can say that uneven heating of the earth produces wind current. So the uneven heating on the earth takes place in two situations. First is uneven heating between the equator and the poles. The region of the earth which is close to the equator of the earth gets the maximum heat from the sun. Therefore, the air in these regions gets warm and rises, creating an area of low air pressure. The cooler air from the regions of up to 30 degrees latitude belt on either side of the equator moves or rushes towards the equator and replaces the warm rising air. This makes the wind to blow from the north and south directions towards the equator. At the poles, the air is colder than at latitudes about 60 degrees. Therefore, the warmer air moves upward and colder air rushes in. This makes the wind blow from the poles of the earth towards the warmer region up to about 60-degree latitudes. Second is uneven heating of land and water. During summer, the earth near the equator warms faster than the water in the oceans. The air above the land gets warmer and rises up in the sky, creating a low pressure area. Therefore, the winds flow from the oceans towards the land. These winds carry a lot of moisture with them and bring rain. It is a part of the water cycle. These rain-bearing winds are called the monsoon winds. So the winds carry water and it rains.